Bhagavad Gita is a book of mankind's collected experience of and answers to life's most basic questions. Who I am, from where do I come, what is my purpose and destiny, and most practically, how do I find happiness? These podcasts originate in the lectures of Neil Bhatt, a disciple of Swami Chinmayananda. They are presented here in 20 to 30-minute segments, each covering 3 of the Gita's 701 verses. Welcome to Gita Wisdom for Daily Living.
We had been discussing chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Yoga of Arjuna's grief. So we had been seeing various characters involved in this Mahabharata war. It reminds me of something I had read somewhere in our scriptural literature, which says, Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande. That which is at this microcosm is at the macrocosm. If I find something in me, I'll be able to find in the cosmos. The master plan for the microcosm and macrocosm is just one and the same. So if I find something in macrocosm, I should also be able to find in microcosm at my individual level. The efficient cause and material cause for the universe is the same efficient cause and material cause for me. Therefore, if I can observe something in the universe, I can also apply that to my own life. Something similar is being said for Mahabharata. As we have discussed before, Mahabharata contains all human situations and characters. So if I find a character in Mahabharata, and if I introspect very carefully, I'll find that character in me too, in my own personality. I may find Dhritarashtra in me, blinded by attachment to his children. He cannot see what is right and wrong when it comes to his children. I can also probably find Duryodhana in me. That Duryodhana, he wanted to keep something which came accidentally to him, but he now doesn't want to give it up. Many internet millionaires in late 90s and early 2000s, what they went through afterwards. I actually know one person in particular who made millions in this technology. And once he got out of that, he made all his efforts to retain that and failed miserably. That's Duryodhana in us. Something came to us accidentally, but I don't want to give it up. We may also find Bhishma in us, who is very rigidly following the rules, but ignoring the principles. When it comes to paying taxes, we are more like Bhishma. If I can find that I meet the IRS criteria in not paying any taxes, even though I am a multi-billion-dollar corporation, that's perfectly legal. But I completely forget the principle of paying taxes, that it's for the social welfare. If I don't pay anything, I'm not contributing anything to the social welfare. So I may find Bhishma in me who is rigidly following the rules, but forgetting the principles. I may find Arjuna in me, who is very keen on overcoming the obstacles which are in his path of his happiness. What we think is rightfully his, he wants to get over those obstacles. In this case, Duryodhana. Duryodhana is in his path of finding that happiness, of getting that kingdom back. We have all enthusiasm to march forward towards our success, and if there is anything in our way, we want to get rid of it. But we hope that we will also find Krishna in us, who says, well, look at it comprehensively. So Krishna said, look at all these people. All the Kurus are gathered here. Not only on the other side, but also on your side. Because the Kurus on your side too. Look at them. Basically reminding, look at the situation, what you're trying to achieve. How many people have to make what kind of sacrifices for you to achieve your own goal? In our enthusiasm to achieve success and move forward in our life, we completely forget how many people are making sacrifices for us. On our own side, from our family, from your friends, from your relatives. Lots of people have to do a lot of things so that I can move forward in my life. That is one point we forget to acknowledge. We never say thank you to people who supported us, who brought me to this level. But we also say, I am a self-made man. I came here with $8 in my pocket. That $8, I'm not sure that the young generation understands. My generation understands. India used to have restriction that only you can take $8 in foreign exchange when you leave India. So people very proudly say, I came with $8 and look at what I accomplished. We forget to acknowledge that what my parents did to get to the point where I can take the $8 and come here. So Krishna reminds us that look at it on all sides. Make sure that you understand that lots of people have to make lots of sacrifices for you to come to a point where you are capable of overcoming the obstacles which you perceive as the obstacles in the path of your happiness. The message we get here is not only that we should introspect negative in us, but also we should introspect and find that Krishna's voice in us. Then see what is the guidance here. Arjuna now sees the situation in its totality. He looks at how many people are gathered here, and the impact on him is what we are now seeing from Sanjaya's description. So Sanjay says, Krupaya paraya vistaha visidan idam abravit. Overwhelmed by great compassion or pity, he sorrowfully said this. So Sanjay says, by observing who are gathered on both sides, that Arjuna came over with immense pity or compassion, but is sorrowful that I'm not going to achieve the goal I came here to achieve. I came here to eliminate the evil of Duryodhana, then establish the kingdom which is rightfully ours. So he is now conflicted about whether it is good for him to continue or it will be very noble of him to just walk away from the situation. We see this situation many times. The student is very bright and he wants to go to Harvard. Then he realizes family has to make the sacrifice. The family cannot afford, come from a poor family. They say, it will be okay, I'll go to community college. Out of the compassion for his family members. So Bhagavan says, well, look at, is this the situation here? So we hear from Arjuna, he says, Društva imam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum sam upastitam. By seeing all the dear ones gathered here and eager to fight. Siddhanti mama gatrani. My limbs are failing me. I am the mightiest warrior, but I don't have any strength. Mukham cha parishusyati. My mouth is drying up. Vepathascha sarire me. My body is shivering. Roma harsascha jayate. Horripilation. Goosebumps. I'm having goosebumps. I'm overwhelmed by fear. Very fearful, then I have goosebumps. Or too excited, then I get goosebumps. So in this verse he describes his physical condition. And the medical professionals in the room will say, well, that's a nervous breakdown situation. So Arjuna basically has the symptoms of nervous breakdown. And the next verse says, Gandivam sansrate hasta tvakcha eva paridahyate nacha saknomi avasthatum brahmati eva cha me manaha. That I cannot hold my bow, Gandiv, which I rely on. I'm master of it. But right now my physical condition, I am not capable. My body is failing me. The Gandiv is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning. I am also unable to stand. Nacha saknomi avasthatum. I can't even stand. I need to sit down. I need to lie down. Brahmativa chema manaha. My mind is whirling. So he's giving another mental condition. I'm having this physical sickness. I am losing strength, but I'm also having the anxiety attack. So basically, he's having the nervous breakdown, the anxiety attack. And what happens when you not control that situation? So the next verse says, Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. I now see clearly. One hand, I can't even think straight. What's going on? My mind is whirling. I can't stand right. But now I can see clearly. Nimittani cha pashyami. I can clearly see. Viparitani keshava. That something bad is going to happen. Bad omen I see. It is delusion when we start having the superstitions. Oh, because I woke up on this side, then this will happen. Things which I know intellectually not possible. Black cat crossing my way cannot have any effect on what I'm going to do when I get to my office, but my mind says no. But that is because I'm not listening to my subjective intellect, as Swamiji says, but something I heard before and some superstition, I'm believing in it. That's delusion. So now he is basically clearly exhibiting the signs of delusion. Nimittani cha pasyami viparitani keshava nacha shreya anupasyami hatva swajanam ahave. I do not see any good coming out of it by killing my own people. So he has gone from, I can't comprehend this situation which I'm facing, therefore I'm losing the strength. Now I'm having these physical symptoms of nervous breakdown. I'm having anxiety attack, how I'm going to handle this thing. Then I say, now I come to the conclusion that this is probably not the right thing to do. So now I'm creating my own reality and then believing it. More I stay in that condition, more I believe in it. Swamiji says the intellect which is normally guiding you is not available to you. But you created an alternate reality. And now I have all the good reason to believe in that reality. So I'm now believing in that alternate universe which I'm living in. And then I have all the justification. So the justification, my mind is creating the justifications, not intellect. So intellect has basically resigned from guiding you. Mind takes over and says, I have all the answers. Let me tell you what is happening here. In that state of that anxiety and delusion, a dream-like situation. In dream we create our own reality. That reality at that time is very real to me. Somebody who is dreaming, you try to convince him you're dreaming, obviously he will not listen to you. As long as he is in dream. Only if he wakes up from that dream, he will listen to you. This delusion is something similar to that. That reality is so real for that person that he is not willing to accept the other reality, which other people see as the real. Therefore, when you have any kind of a mental disorder, you go to some professional psychiatrist. Because if you talk to your relatives or friends, you will not listen to them. Say, no, I know. But maybe you will listen to somebody who you think is third party, who has no axe to grind in your life, and you tell him. Then in the end he says, okay, that's fine, our session is over, the charges are $350 an hour. He says, you suddenly come out of your depression, you $350 an hour. How many hours can I spend here? But that's obviously because we have someone who is not invested in your situation, and you're seeing from his perspective. And that person tells you. Krishna obviously is that person. Krishna is the psychiatrist here. The good news is Arjuna has faith in Krishna. So we'll see first his argument going forward, why he should not be in this situation. Now, how this situation came upon him is obviously up to our imagination. But we have seen the description of what's happening. If this is an effect that this is what happened to Arjuna, there is a cause for it. So the cause can be only one of the two causes. One, Sanjay said, he was overwhelmed by the pity and compassion. That I can be the cause for destruction of all my relatives. So that may be one cause. Maybe he felt that compassion. That how can I be the cause for my people and all the people on the other side to be killed? Swamiji says there is another reason this can happen. He realized the task at hand is not as simple as he thought. Because he never imagined a situation other than him winning. All I have to do is get rid of Duryodhana, win this war, and the kingdom will be rightfully mine. He never thought about what support Duryodhana will have. Duryodhana was support from Bhishma, Drona, Krupacharya, all those great warriors who are as good or better than him. Bhishma not only was as good as Arjuna, but also had Ichha Mrityu. He can only die if he wants to. Dronacharya, invincible. It may be fear of losing this war. that after all that is done, what if I lose this war? And that may have created this nervous breakdown. We face this situation all the time. We are very anxious to achieve something. And then get to that point where we are really facing the situation, going to some competition, applying for some admission in some very prestigious university. The enormity of the task may make me lose my courage and equilibrium. At that time, I don't really admit that that's what is happening to me. That, look, I'm afraid of doing that. I simply find other reasons and say, well, it's not really worth it. I don't know whether it is worth it anymore to become a doctor. A lot of doctors are getting out of practice. Why should I be going to medical college anymore? I don't admit that I think I may not get admission. Therefore, I'm afraid of applying even. That all these years people have told me how smart you are and people are relying on you in your family, and now you are facing a situation where you may not be able to deliver what people have expected of you. Arjuna may have come to that point to realize that victory is not guaranteed here. I may not be able to overcome Bhishma and Drona and all those great warriors. Therefore, he creates this alternate situation for him, where he says that maybe it's not worth it to make all these people make these sacrifices. So we'll stop right here.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.